Okay, so I bought this set of rolls off the bay. I've been looking for a little chunky set for a long while, so when it came up I just had to have them. So I made the guy an offer, he accepted, and he shipped them out. Now there's nothing majorly wrong with them, they just need sort of recommissioning really. The rolls are rusty, which the seller has just sort of covered in oil just to make it look a bit better, but the rust needs to come off. The handle looks like it's original. There's a couple of very minor issues, but nothing we can't get over. Look at that, lovely shape to that handle. I reckon that's the original piece of wood. The rolls are 3-inch diameter and they're solid. I thought they would be tube, but they're not. They're solid, so they're blooming heavy. They're 2 foot wide, and it could be absolutely pucker for the job I want. So there's a couple of little issues which we'll get to. In fact, I don't know if we can see one of them now. This is the release mechanism for the bottom roll, and that's as far as it'll go. So that's the issue, or one of them. And there's the other one, the bend in that's not supposed to be there. So they're the two things we got to sort out, which will be a fairly easy fix if I can get them apart. Now in there's like a swivel, but it won't swivel because the cog is pushed on the shaft too far. You can't really see here in the dark. Let me get a torch, see if I can illuminate proceedings. Here we go. I don't know if you can see that bottom cog doesn't line up with the one above it. It's about half and half. So consequently that bottom shaft can't turn because the cog fouls on the chassis. So we've got to get all that off, pull the cog off a little bit, and Bob's your uncle. Let's get that off. And see where we go from there. It's fairly easy to get it off. It's just an Allen key holding that collar on. I don't know if that was original. Looks like it probably was. Yeah, there we go. That's nice and loose. That should just slide off. And that's a weighty old bit of cast iron. They don't make machines like they used to, that's for sure. Right, so next job I think is get this cover off, these guards. There's a screw missing from each side, so it's going to be an easy job to get it off. Look at that fabricated guard. Runs nicely. It's all on bronze bushes. No bearings, or no, roller bearings. It's just bronze bushes. Apparently they can take pound for pound a lot more than roller bearings, so I'm told. Now you can see better how that bottom one is sort of halfway across the top one, and they should be lined up. So let's see if we can get that top one off. Hello, here come the dogs. Right, I'll get the bottom guard off. Ralph and his little mate. Well, it becomes apparent that I can't just take both sets of brackets off front and back. I can take the back one off, but I can't get the whole thing off because of the shape of the legs. So I've got to put that bracket there back on and undo it from the casing in there. Never mind, such is life. Put it all back together. Right, anyway, got it off. Now let's see. Yeah, you can see the problem. You wouldn't get a bit of kit made like this today, would you? Bloody hell. I don't know if that's a date in there. It says 1951 or 1951 with a sort of a squiggle in the middle of it. I don't know if that's actually a date or just a serial number. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's that sort of age. Well, let's see if we can get this wedge out. I'm just going to try and tap it out. No, that's buggered it. It must be a wrought iron wedge because it's just snapped the top off. So, what are we going to do? A bit of heat? Bit of penetration oil? I don't know. Or do I drill it out? Not sure what to do with that. Well, I tried a little bit of local heat, not too much because I don't want to get it too hot and it won't come out. So I'm going to take the whole top off, undoing those 3 screws. Hopefully, if I undo them both sides, the whole lot should lift out. That will solve my problem. I want to get it apart anyway to clean it down. Let's see what we can do. Luckily, apart from the wedges, everything else, all the screws, being very cooperative. I've been looking for a set of these for a long while for a specific job, and you put searches in for 2-foot rolls and they always come up with those silly little Chinese things that have got rolls about 1 inch diameter that wouldn't roll a fag paper, and I didn't actually think they made 2-foot rolls this heavy, but obviously I was wrong. The set came up. I'm just lifting the rolls right up so that we haven't got so far to drag the bushes out of the slots. So I need to get my hey presto engine crane. Let's see if that will lift it out. I don't suppose it's ever been taken apart since it was put together. Tap. No movement. I'm not going to tap it any harder because that's all cast. So let's get a bit of leverage on the go. Right, I want a lump of wood or something that I can put in there. There we go, it's starting to move. Just starting to lift. It's going to take some shifting, I think, but it's coming very slowly. There you go, you can see that one coming out. Bit of lube. Everything goes nicer with a bit of lube. Try again. It's very frustrating trying to find the right things to wedge it with. There we go, it's coming out now. That's the job, look at that. That's me lube, I'll bet. Oh, now see what's happened now. It's caught. The keyway that's sticking out of the bottom roll was caught. It needed a bit of wiggling. Trying to balance that. I'm going to put it back a different way because that's very precarious. You can see me dropping that and breaking that sprocket. So I'm going to put it back together, do it a slightly different way. Yeah, that's a relief getting it on the floor. Right, now then, this is the problem.
We should be able to sort that out. It just wants to come out further.
That is way too close to there. Way too close. So you see it's fouling on the casing, which is stuffing it, coming right out. So we've got to get that wedge out, which, judging by the other one, isn't going to come out easily, so I've resorted to weld a ring on it. If I can get a bloody earth. Of course, I'm trying to get an earth through the bearings. It's probably not a good idea, but hey ho. Ah, come on, you fecking thing. There we go. Same again, come on. There we go. Right, stuck a ring on with some 7018s, and now I'm going to get my slide hammer and see if we can get this wedge out. Look at that, piece of cake. I think that bit of heat probably helped. Now it's loose, but then it goes tight, so I think it's got some issues. You could see that the wedge wasn't where it should be on the flat. I don't quite know why they've just put a flat on the shaft and not a keyway like there is in the sprocket. So you've got a keyway in the sprocket and just a flat on the shaft. It doesn't seem a particularly good idea. For some reason the sprocket's moved on the shaft and the keyway is half off the flat, which is probably why it moved on, in so far. Anyway, I can't get it off, so there's a bit of a tight spot. See if it'll come off with a little bit of persuasion. No, let's get a proper bar on it. There we go. Alright, let's have a little gander at that then. It looks in fairly good nick, considering how old it is. So I'm going to make a new wedge. Yeah, see that there's some lumps and bumps on that shaft, so I'm going to give that a bit of a clean up with some emery. Inside feels okay of the actual sprocket. And I was just going to show you, and my battery went flat, and I hadn't got any more batteries with me, so I carried on, cleaned it up, made a new wedge and put it on where I think it should go. I might have to cut that wedge down a bit, but so we're all back up and running. We're in. I've given it a clean down. I've degreased everything. I didn't bother showing you that because it's literally just covering it in gunk with a paintbrush and then washing it all off. But that's what I've done, so it's all fairly clean now and grease free. A little tiny bit left down in those gears, but the rest of it's all gone. All these bushes are nice and clean now, all these bronze bushes. And as you can see, I've got it hoiked up with 2 straps and a load leveler now, so I feel a lot happier that it's a bit safer. Cleaned the wheel off. The only thing I haven't cleaned is those guards yet, but they're not actually too bad. It was everything else that was covered in sort of grease and grime. I was going to paint it, but I think I might leave it. I quite like the patina of the old machine. Right, let's see if we can get this back in. Smack the pulley, the gear on the casing. Won't do it any good, will it? This doesn't want to go in. It's getting caught on the frame. Unfortunately, the width of the engine hoist is just wrong for the size of the frame. Oh, and knocking the camera about. Anyway, we'll get there. And what I've got to try and do is start these bushes in those slots just to get everything lined up, and then attach the adjusters. But it ain't that easy. I'd like to have been able to put them in individually, but it's not possible really. So I've got to put them in together like this. Right, that's that one started. That one's not lined up. You don't want to go because you've got to get it in lengthwise and widthwise. So it's all gone to cock again. Try that one first. Yeah, that's got it. Right, we've got them in. Right, that's it. Yeah, that was taking off the end of that wedge from that pulley. It was just too long. It was catching on the big pulley, the big cog. Get me screws in. Don't seem to want to do up. That one won't go in. I've got nothing to lever it with. I need a podger. Let's go get myself a podger. Right, here we go. Look at that. Straighten the holes. When you've got the right tools, it makes life so much easier. Can't believe how good a nick these are, really, considering their age. Normally got, you know, the odd chipped tooth or a bit of casting that's been welded up over the years. These are remarkably scar-free, which is a joy. All seems to be moving properly. Put that back on. There we go. The rolls took a little bit of time wire brushing. Did it with an angle grinder with a big wire brush on it, but a lot came off. And that one's got a bit tight. I'm wondering if I put the wrong bush in that side. It might have been off the other end or the other one of the other rolls, but I'm not going to take it apart again now. So it'll have to wear in. Everything looks to be running true. There are some marks on the bottom roll. It looks like someone's perhaps been rolling up some rebar. I've given the rolls themselves a little wipe over with some light oil. You can see the marks on the bottom bar there. And there you can see that the pulley or the cogs are lining up much better. They're a touch out, they're about 1/8 of an inch out, but way better than it was. So hopefully we can put the guards on now, but before we do, I'm just going to grease her up because I won't be able to get to it when the guards are on. I'm going to get my grease gun, slap a bit on, a bit more lube. Typical. Bloody guns run out of grease. Oh well, go and fill her up. And try again. That's better. going lovely. Right, I think its guard's back on time. And then we're almost done. Little did I know this was going to turn into a bloody saga as well. Me trying to figure out which way up it goes, and it's the bottom one. What I'm about to discover is that I've got to take the wheel off, the hand wheel, to get the screws in on the front of the guard. Of course, I'll bugger about trying to get it all on before I figure that out. Penny has dropped. And then I start to put the screws in, and I drop one of them into the bottom of the guard. So I get myself a magnet, try and persuade it out, but it ain't having it. I'll take the bloody thing off again. Get it off, tip out the screw, and start all over again. Never mind, eh? All good fun. Luckily I haven't got much work on this week, which is why I'm able to do this today. I really have to try and get myself some ratchet Imperial spanners. All I've got is some real old Imperial ones that I use on the bike, on the Triumph. I think they're probably my old man's. Alright, last bit. Done. Yay! Pucker. Right, now I can show you what I want to use it for. And these are 1.2mm steel with a folded edge at the top, just sort of double edged. And these are the jugs that I make. And normally I get them rolled up elsewhere and then just put them together. But if I thought if I could do them myself, it would just save a little bit of money and time. Just breaking the edges over, just grabbing it in the rolls and breaking them over. Now putting that double edge through the groove for the solid round. Look at that. Lovely job. This won't come off. What's going on there? No, let's just release. That's it. Too tight. Look at that. Perfect. So when I've got a couple of dozen of those to roll up, it's not going to take long. See if we can show you again from a different angle. Again, just grabbing hold of it, breaking that first edge on both sides. feeding that in with the double edge in the groove. I might even motorise this, you know. I don't think it'd be a difficult job, and I think it would make life even easier than it is now. But that's for another day. Again, loosen that off. That's all you've got to do. Quarter turn. Don't quite know why it does that. Lovely. Pleased with that. Absolutely chuffed to bits with that. Nice small size. I can tuck it in the corner of the workshop, and I reckon that'll do some heavy old stuff if it wanted to. So I decided I'm not going to paint it. I'm just going to give it the whole lot of a spray over with light oil or WD or something similar. Stop it going rusty. And leave it at that, because I rather like the patina. Especially on that end there with the words on the end. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And with any luck, we'll catch you on the next one.